hello again, Friendship Village. This is the voice of village. This. Okay, let's try that again. Hello, Friendship Village. This is the voice of Friendship Village coming at you today with another installment of our podcast, growing ever more and more popular, I understand. We have listeners in New York City and California.
And Minneapolis.
And Minneapolis. Thank you, Mary. That was Mary, my co-host for this program and all of our programs. And of course, we have a very interesting guest, like we always try to do, to entertain and inform our listeners. And before we get too far, let's just say this about our program. It's being brought to you today by the marketing program, the marketing division. How would you say that?
Marketing department.
Department. We have a representative today from the marketing department. You know, I kind of have some ideas about what the marketing department does. You know, just tidbits of information here and there, but we have somebody who heads up that department. So, Sheila, maybe you'd like to say a few words about how would you sort of describe what the marketing department does?
Well, I would say that we are some of the first people and faces that many prospective residents, future residents, come to the community to learn about life care and what the community offers. Honestly, sometimes we're the second line of defense in that because it's the residents that they know or somebody that they've already talked to or knew that lived here and they're coming back now for themselves to come in. So we meet with people, we do advertising campaigns, we sponsor plays and performances around the community. And we also do some of the larger marketing events to where we combine residents and future residents or people who've deposited on an apartment that haven't moved in quite yet to come together and start forming that community.
And maybe pretty soon you'll be heading up some tours of the new building. Is that
Yes,
correct?
We're hoping to.
Okay.
Yep, we're really excited because August 16th we're going to start actually moving people in. And as soon as we get our certificate of occupancy, we can start doing tours again in the building.
Okay. All right. The 16th of August. Boy, that's sooner than we had thought.
Sure is. Only 3 weeks away.
The word I heard was, well, you said July, end of beginning or whatever July, and then it was August, probably going to be September, but it's actually going to be in August.
August 16th. Okay. Yep, we're already reaching out to people and getting their move-in dates scheduled.
Okay. Well, I know, I surmise that Friendship Village would not be as successful as they are without a good marketing department. That's what I assume. Huh?
I would say that we're probably the best in town.
You're the best marketing department around. Okay. All right.
Well, I think you're very active and very on the go. You're just out there working all the time. All the time.
Yeah. Well, I always kind of share with people, we're out there to be in front of people and let them know what we're up to because it's a very progressive community. But it's the beautiful thing about Friendship Village is, like I mentioned earlier, so many people know of us because their family members were here or somebody they knew used to be here and they saw the exceptional care they got, or they see, maintenance and housekeeping, the dining teams, and they just know that we're going to fulfill on our promise of that My Life Living here.
I think before we go any farther, we need to introduce our guest. She's been talking here and promoting, but we need to know exactly who she is. Her name is Sheila Bruskern.
Yeah.
And she is, like we know, in the marketing division. But we need to know a little background about Sheila before she got here.
Sure.
So where were you born and raised, Sheila?
So I was born in Washington State. My dad was in the service, and I grew up here in Evansdale, and went to college at UNI, and then I went from just outside of New York City to just outside of DC, and most recently San Diego. And then I moved back 3 years ago to be closer to family again.
Very good. So you've had a lot of worldly experience. And what was your degree in?
Public relations, liberal arts. My focus was PR and communications.
Good. Good.
So you kind of did that work when you were in New York and San Diego and all those places?
Yeah, actually in New York, I was a nanny, believe it or not, for a family there. Spent the summer on Nantucket even, so that was a really neat experience. And then on the East Coast, I started out as a tenant services coordinator for a retirement community. So I planned all their activities and outings and things. And then I transitioned into apartment rental management, just standard rental management.
Okay.
Managed a community. My last project there was managing a community in Falls Church, which some developers bought, and they hired me to help convert it from apartments into condominiums.
Okay.
And then when that community sold and that project was completed, I moved to the West Coast because my brother lived there, and it was a lot. I loved visiting, so I'm like, well,
hey,
might as well. Got to find a new job, so I might as well go to the San Diego and find one there.
Yeah, right.
So then in San Diego, I was a portfolio manager for a community association management company. So I'd manage anywhere from 6 to 8 communities at a time, in charge of all aspects of operations. And
So you were literally the person where the buck stops here, right? You were that person?
pretty much underneath the board of directors. So each community had a board of directors, and I would advise them and do work at their direction, enforce their community rules, and manage their vendors.
Sounds like all these experiences just blended in well to what you currently are doing.
Oh, yeah, it absolutely has. Yeah, I feel like all that has prepared me for this.
Yeah.
So how long have you been with us at Friendship Village?
I've been here 3 years. So when I was looking to move back home, my aunt, who was the head of housekeeping at the time, told me about the position. And so I sent a resume in and went through the process, and I got hired before I even moved back. So I felt really, really blessed that I had this position before I even moved back, because in my industry, I never dreamed I would find something in Waterloo. I thought I would have to maybe go to Des Moines or Cedar Rapids, and the whole point was to move back and be close to family. And so to have landed at Friendship Village, it's just such an amazing organization. It truly does feel like you're working for one big family.
Mm-hmm. Great.
And how many are in your marketing division? How many employees do you have?
So we have myself, and we have Abby, who is the marketing coordinator. Jen is our salesperson, and then Jamie is transitioning from marketing coordinator into our media coordinator. So she'll be doing a new position. She was planning on leaving after she got married, but now we're going to keep.
She's staying?
She is, yeah. Oh, breaking news! Breaking news!
You heard it first on the boards of Friendship Village.
So Jamie will still be working with us remotely, helping bring in some technology, some new advertising avenues, and different things. So we're really, really excited.
Well, we're really excited that she's going to stay.
Yes, yes.
She's such an asset, too.
She really is.
With all of your group. But I mean, you'd hate to lose her. That's
Yep. Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Great. Wow, breaking news.
I know. Very exciting.
Yeah, you're busy over there.
We sure are, especially with the new building coming on and ramping all that up. But it's fun, super fun.
What can we say here? Let's pause for a moment and have a joke.
Sounds good to me.
All right. I've been reading a little page about some famous things that Will Rogers has said.
Oh, he was a great guy.
He was a great guy. He said things such as this, such wisdom. He said, don't ever, if you run into a guy who's chewing tobacco, don't ever pat him on the back.
I like that one.
I think he's also the one who said in my experience, there are 2 ways to argue with a woman, and neither one of them work.
A wise man.
Yes, he had some good words of wisdom.
Okay, here's my final Will Rogers saying. The story goes there was a lion who ate a bull. The whole bull ate it. And he was so into himself that he started roaring. And he roared in the jungle, And a man came by and shot the lion dead. And the moral of the story is, if you're full of bull, don't open your mouth. So
Those are good. You're getting better, Pat. You're getting better. Your jokes are getting better.
thank you, Will Rogers.
Yes, yes.
There's something that I've run across. It's called a residential referral program.
Yeah.
I bet you could tell me more about
I
it.
sure can. So we actually started a temporary program earlier this year in which, I mentioned earlier that our residents are typically our best referral sources. And that says a lot when the residents are encouraging their friends and family members to move into the community.
Yeah.
And so we've actually extended that program. So if you have a friend or a family member refer someone who we haven't been working with recently, and they sign a contract by September 1st, they don't have to move in by September 1st. That was the original start of the program. But as long as they sign a contract and move in, and then move in afterwards when their apartment's ready, then we'll pay the resident who referred them $1,000 after they move in.
$1,000.
Yeah. And we already have one resident, actually we have a couple at Landmark and one here that have earned the referral. We haven't awarded it yet because their referrals are waiting to move in. And I asked Mary earlier if we were able to do a special little segment and award that resident referral bonus here on your show.
Wow. That would be interesting.
Yeah, we could work that out.
Yeah.
So yeah, we appreciate all the referrals that are coming in and keep them coming. And we're hoping that we can pay multiple residents for referral bonuses.
I'm thinking right at the moment, I'm thinking of a lady about my age who has talked of an interest in moving in. So maybe I'll approach her with this little incentive. Maybe that'll help get the ball rolling a little more.
And be sure she mentions your name if she does get moved in.
Yes.
That way you get the $1,000.
I would get the $1,000.
And then we can go out and celebrate.
Yep. Yeah.
I was thinking like I'd get the $1,000 and I'd split it with her.
There you go. Well, that's very generous.
Yeah, that's very nice. I like that.
Just for a little incentive for her as
Right.
well as myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always all different ways to approach this program.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. Just you can reach out to me, and I can reach out to your friend here at the marketing center. You can call. I'll do a in-home visit. If your friend feels more comfortable coming to your apartment and meeting in there with you and myself, I'm happy to make arrangements for that. We've even done a few home visits for people who are a little bit still afraid of the pandemic and don't want to come out necessarily to a public place, but I've gone to their homes and actually met with them as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, very accommodating. That's the thing. You're accommodating to the people. And
Yes. Well, it's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
No.
It's very much a personalized experience based on what somebody's looking for. Some people are looking to move in the next couple of months, and some people aren't looking to move for 5 years or so from now.
Right.
So just because they come in doesn't mean I'm going to have them signing on the dotted line, or, but it's just, you start the conversation. It's a
Right.
conversation.
And there's a lot to learn, and they have lots of questions.
Yes.
So that's the thing. You need to be there to answer all their questions and show them everything you have. And I think you guys have done a fantastic job.
Thank you.
To be able to get as many sold as you have. And we hope more will be moving in.
Yes, me too. Me too. It's when you love what you do, it makes it super easy.
Oh, absolutely.
We have fun over in the marketing center, and not one of us dreads coming into work. We love it.
You look forward to seeing people of every nature.
Yep, sure do.
You just never know what the day's going to hold for you.
That's
you listen
right.
to your answering machine, you don't know what people are asking of you.
Yeah, you don't. Some people I meet with once, and they've come in with knowledge of Friendship Village already, and other people come in, and I might meet with them 3 or 4 times before they're comfortable knowing everything that's needed in the community. That's what we're there for.
Right.
So we could say for sure, well, let me check this out, but there are openings in the new building.
Correct, yes.
Or- yeah, okay.
Yes, there's openings in the new building. There's openings right here in Village Place. There's openings in Village Lane.
Okay.
We actually just recently sold an apartment to a lady who's moving into Village Lane this fall, and she's going to be a great addition to the community.
Oh, neat.
And then even our 55 and older community, Landmark Commons, there's also some openings there as well.
Okay.
Yeah, my kids are all very impressed by my apartment, my living here, all the amenities that are offered. And the son-in-laws especially, I think it'd be fun to move here. And they're all hedging towards 60.
Yeah, well, you have them call me. I'll get them on the waiting list.
Right.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be something to have one of those guys
Yeah.
in their family living next door?
And my grandson was here from New York a couple weeks ago, and he was very impressed. He said, I think I'd like to live here. He's only in his 20s.
That's cute. Well, I actually have run into residents, and when I do my meetings and tours through the community, and I remember one time recently somebody said, I'm waiting for my grandkids to come. They said they're coming to visit Grandma at the resort, is what they call it. So, I think that's a pretty big honor. It's like living on vacation. We try to take care of everything for you all, and so that you do feel like you're living your life on vacation.
Right. That's
So.
what my kids think. You have everything done for you.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing today? Going to the games and going to sing and
Yeah.
going to eat, doing everything but work.
Exactly. Well,
we
you earned
left
it.
work. When we moved here, we left work behind us.
Mm-hmm. Well, and isn't that such a wonderful gift for your family too, to be in a community like Friendship Village with life care, so they don't have to worry if something were to happen to you financially or anything. You're going to be taken care of.
Medically,
That's so huge.
emotionally, everything.
Mhm.
We have everything available to us if
Yeah.
we need it.
Exactly.
And that's what all of our guests, when we've done all the podcasts, we ask them, what do you like about living here? And they just have such positive feedback for everything.
That's wonderful.
Yes,
Well,
it
the marketing department's not the only one that does marketing for the community.
Right,
You
right.
know, from the receptionist to the housekeepers, maintenance, dining teams. I mean, we all just are so involved and committed to the mission, and that's what makes it work.
It is a mission, that's right.
Well, you mentioned, speaking of that, I think you mentioned that your aunt, who was head of
Housekeeping.
housekeeping here. Now, is that somebody we know?
It sure is. Well, she just recently retired. Paula.
Paula.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Paula, if you're listening.
Hey,
I didn't
Paula.
know she was your aunt.
She is, yeah.
Okay.
And she did not seem old enough to retire.
I know.
But I think she was tired. And I was thinking it was time to
Well, why didn't she retire here?
I'm working on her.
might get $1,000.
Well, and another interesting fact is that my grandmother was the head of housekeeping in 1969 when Friendship Village opened.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Oh, wonderful.
That was Paula's mother?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So some listeners might know her. Millie Wormuskern was her name.
Worcestershire.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Friendship
sure.
Village has been a part of my family ever since it opened.
Yeah,
really.
it's just natural that you would come back to this.
Sure is.
It's,
I feel, like I said, I feel really blessed.
You bet.
Oh, that's good. Paula.
Yeah.
Hey, Paula, how you doing? Yeah, I miss her.
Probably on vacation somewhere.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Hanging out at the river or something, living the life now.
Not a sandy beach? She wouldn't be on a sandy beach?
Well, there's some up in Lansing and Harper's Ferry, so.
Okay, sure. All right.
Back to your family. Now, do you have parents that are here, that live in this area?
Yes, so I moved back. I was living in San Diego and I moved back to be closer to family. My parents are here. I'm the oldest of 6. And so 2 of my brothers live in the Des Moines area. My sister's in Janesville, and then the rest are just right around here in Waterloo.
Great, great.
And then I've got, I kind of lost count, maybe 13 nieces and nephews. So it's fun being an aunt.
So are your parents retired then? And,
Oh, yes, they've been retired for a while.
and you haven't sold them on moving here?
Nope. They're actually building a house right now up in Lansing. So
Oh, they're in Northeast Iowa.
yes, well, the kind of more of a vacation home, if you
Okay,
will.
okay,
Yeah,
that's a nice area.
they had a house that was about 100 years old, and they decided to build a new one because that one, obviously was showing some wear and structural issues. So I'm really happy that they decided to do that, and while they can still enjoy it, and the grandkids can have the memories and everything like I did with my grandparents in their cabin.
Right. Good idea. Well, it's nice to know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a Lansing, Iowa? I guess
Oh, yes.
I didn't know about that.
I've been there.
Yep.
I've been to Lansing.
It's about 2 hours northeast Iowa, northeast of here.
It's almost to Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, almost. Like there's just a bridge ride over, and then it's
Right.
Wisconsin.
Right. I went there to visit someone one time.
Okay.
And there's some camping areas up there. My daughter and son-in-law are with a camping group, and they go up in northeast Iowa and camp at a lot of different campgrounds. So it's a good camping area.
It is. It's a beautiful area. The
Yes, it
drive
is.
is just gorgeous.
Yes.
You know, was it last week that we had the 5K and the mile thing for Alzheimer's? So every now and then I've participated. So every now and then around the course I would see a sign that said marketing and a big arrow. Was that like, were you there in someplace at Landmark?
Oh, no, I
that?
was not. I unfortunately, I couldn't make the event this year because I was helping out. I'm on the committee for Gilbertville Days, so that happened to be their weekend to do all of their events. So, so no, we weren't out there this time. So maybe it was just a sign they borrowed that had an arrow or something.
So I just figured, well, you know, could be some new people attracted to Landmark that would like to learn more about the whole operation. So
Maybe Kayla had something out there.
okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I have one little idiom here. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Very good. Who's the author of those wise words?
I don't know. I just get them off the internet.
Oh. Okay.
And you don't have to, you learn more from failure than from success. Don't let it stop you. Failure builds character.
Yeah, but why does it have to be kind of painful sometimes?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And the person who has confidence in himself
Yes.
gain the confidence of others.
Oh. Okay.
You're a very confident person. People will see that, and it'll go on to them.
Yes, it does.
And that, I think, blends into having a family. You know,
Sure.
if your parents are very confident, you can instill that in your children to be confident.
Well, and if you're confident, you just show up better for people.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
And empower them to be their best selves as well.
Right. And you try to work that around here to make people a little more confident. Some people lack a little bit of confidence. They're not sure they can attempt something or do something, and you try to encourage them to go ahead and try. Go ahead and try.
I think that's wonderful because I do, I follow up with people after they've moved in, and they always say they felt so welcomed when they moved in. It was kind of, a little scary to move into a community living sometimes, but the residents made them feel so welcomed and invite them to different things or trying new things. And so, and when I'm on my tours, the residents are always so gracious to the people coming in. It really makes me proud to walk through the hallways.
Yeah, if I see some of you guys with people, I'll always say, well, welcome to Friendship Village. I hope you like what you see.
Yeah.
You want to, you don't want to just walk away from them. You want to be friendly.
Absolutely. It makes a difference. It really does,
Yes.
I remember when we first arrived about 5 years ago that they had what they called a welcome breakfast,
Yes.
for new people. So
We'll start those up again, most likely. They were suspended, because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And we would do those about once a quarter, maybe once every 4 months.
Yeah.
Get all the new residents together to welcome them to the family and do a nice brunch. That the dining always outdoes themselves, on those
We look
kinds
forward
of things.
to their brunches.
Yes. Definitely.
Absolutely.
I think the dining just likes a big challenge.
They love what they do too,
Yeah, they do.
It shows.
They're very creative and tasty. Well, hey, I think we're about coming to the close of this podcast, and we have certainly enjoyed talking to you, Sheila.
Oh, it's
Thank you
my
for
pleasure.
coming. Thank
Feel
you.
honored to be asked to be here.
And Mary, my co-host, sparkling as ever. Thank you. Thank you. So as we like to say at the end, may the good Lord bless and keep you till we meet once again. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.